Hello. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday so far. Turn up the music so y'all can hear it. There we go. All right. So I was thinking of hanging out while I work on some projects. Um, I have them set up on my desk next to me, so if you see me looking over to the side a lot, that's because that's where they are. Uh, I don't know if I I do want to do a hand cam eventually, but I don't really have an external webcam. I need to get one. Um, I'm just maybe I can get like a very cheap like digital camera and just hook it up to my computer and use that. But yeah, so I was just gonna chat while I work on some things, and I mean, I'm just like glad to be here. I think it's very nice to see everybody. Always come right in. Um, Hello, everybody that's coming in. So, yeah, it's been an interesting week to say the least. Just been working. Yes, thank you very much. Just been working on at my offline job and streaming more, Definitely feeling more motivated to stream, I will say that. Um, but there was something I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it was. My memory is so bad sometimes. It's really sad. um, I don't remember. Oh yeah. So I just um I just feel like I've been streaming a lot. Um, like I'm fine. I'm not like sacrificing like my health to be here. So like any concerns you have, I'm not like overdoing it, I will say. I am not. I feel fine, honestly. If I needed to take some time off of streaming, I would probably say something. Uh, like I have in the past, but I will allow myself days off, okay? Like my mod did say that he didn't want me to burn out, and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like as long as I don't push myself, like I don't do any marathon streams. I don't usually stream for that long anyway. Um, but so yeah, we're gonna talk about things that I've been thinking about. So I think I've rediscovered my passion for voice acting. So that's why I've been doing a lot more like visual novel streams. Is it's just a way for me to practice and kind of get better at it. Um, it was something I wanted to do a very long time ago, but then I just kind of lost confidence in myself. And so I said, there's that's something I can't really do because I can't really afford like the lessons and any of like the like steps it would take to get thank you to get myself out there. But then I realized, this could be a platform. This could be something I can use to just put myself out there. And, you know, I do want to create more like ASMR, like maybe audio dramas. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And of course, I do like playing games with you all, and I think that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I want to kind of see where I can go with this channel. I wouldn't call myself a professional. I'd say I'm more of like a, an amateur, somebody who has aspirations but wants to like practice and develop my craft. I do know a lot of I do know of some voice actors who are also VTubers. Um, so that's kind of how they got like their platform is they were already experienced in acting, and VTubing is just like a hobby they do. Yes, that sounds like the a title of a light novel. I think that would be a lot of fun. But you know, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Um, I do think alliteration is fun, but I do think as long as I keep working at it, I am doing very well, Dr. Frederick. I'm just talking about what I want to do, like moving forward with this channel. And I was thinking of where I might want to do my niche. Um, I was just talking about how I've rediscovered my love for voice acting and about how I want to kind of hone that, like develop that passion a bit more. Like work on my skills. I actually had a lot of fun like doing the voiceover for the coffee of Andy and Lele. Obviously, I couldn't yell as much as I wanted to because it was kind of late and I didn't want to bother anybody. But I hopefully I can get some soundproofing set up in here. That way I can yell all I want. Oh yeah, it's dark. It's dark. But I love doing like horror voiceovers and like dramatic and emotional. That's just something I that's just the role I like playing. I like playing darker roles. Like when I was still in school, I actually my class did Macbeth, and I really oh sorry, there was a bit of a lag there. I really enjoyed playing Lady Macbeth. That was so much fun. Like I love playing the villains. I love playing kind of the seductress, kind of just the temptress and the bad person. I like playing the bad guy. But I heard a lot of people like doing that. I don't like playing. Hello, Sydney. I love doing that. Scream is so good. I don't know. I don't know why I like playing villains so much. I guess it's just fun to explore that darker side and to just kind of let go and be unhinged. And then, like, because heroines, like, they're supposed to act a certain way. Like, I never liked playing, like, the ingenue roles. Yeah, I can do it, but it's just not as fun. I guess, like, a lot of the girls that I went to school with liked playing, like, the female leads. Like, for like they would like playing the innocent leads because they tend to get more like stage time. But I think the villainesses are always more interesting. I'm just thinking of some of the theater kids. I feel like some of the theater kids just did it not for the art of acting or for the art of theater. I think they just did it because they liked the attention. Because like they would do it like when we would do drama, like the drama units in our English classes, they didn't give a shit about it. They only gave a shit about their like theater group. And I'm like, nah. It's like, come on, guys. Like, sometimes I question how serious you are when it comes to your roles in the in the drama, like the theater itself. Yeah. Like the guy who played opposite of me in Macbeth, he was actually like one of the like lead actors in the theater club, and he didn't take that role seriously at all. Like, even though he was really active in drama club. And I'm like, come on. Like, you're actually getting graded on this. Like, you need to, like, at least try. You can't just, like, goof off. And it was, like, difficult, too, because, I had to play off of him. And I'm just like, you're not really giving me much to work with there. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm doing my best for a grade here. And like I do want to like immerse myself in the art of it, but like he just wasn't taking it seriously. And I'm like, are you like a serious actor, or are you just goofing? Are you just doing theater because yeah, exactly. You never hear of him outside of it acting. Or it's like you're just doing this because you want attention. It's just like I would never become a method actress though, because I'm like able to compartmentalize and like separate the role from the rest of my life. Like once once the like curtains down or like the scene's over, the play's over, I just go back to being me. I think method actors are weird. I think some people just use it as an excuse to be an asshole. was that actor who said he like stalked somebody on the subway because they wanted to like get the like into the head of their character. I forget who it was. It was somebody like relatively well known too. And like, why would you admit to that? Or like Jared Leto, when he did the Joker, he would like send like animal parts to his like cast members, his like castmates, and he'd like harass Margot Robbie. And I'm just like, are you that shitty of an actor? Like, I just think it's strange. And why is it always men who are method actors too? Like, I don't know. I mean, Robert Pattinson did make a pretty funny joke about it once, about method acting, because they asked him what he was doing to prepare for his like role as Batman, and he said, I just never leave my house." But I don't know. Everybody who's like a method actor who I like know of has had some like issues in the past with like interactions with other people. Like Jared Leto's a freak. Like I will say that. Hmm. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I guess the ones that get, yeah, it's not good for you. Like you're supposed to like separate yourself from the role. Like you can't let it consume you. Especially if you're playing a darker role, it can like send you into a very bad place. I think like though that does say something about like studios, about how they don't provide like mental support for their actors who are playing darker roles. A lot of them don't. I think they do now, but in the past they really didn't. I feel like if it's a dark movie, there should probably be like an on-set counselor. Like, I don't know, that's just my take. And like, I know this is a thing now, but it wasn't in the past, but like movies with like sex scenes, nowadays they have like intimacy coordinators. I think it's called, or intimacy choreographers, where it's people who are just kind of supervising what's happening and making sure like the actors are comfortable. And they also do it in a way that way there's as little people on set as possible. Yeah, yeah. I think it's just Leto's just a weirdo. But like now I know like intimacy scenes, they only involve those who are absolutely essential. Like those are the only people who are on set during the scene. Like you, the directors, the like the and the actors and like the intimacy choreographer, they're the ones who are usually the only ones on set during intimate scenes, which I feel like is better. Hi. Yeah, hi Cosmos. It's like I kind of use Bridgerton as like the gold standard for that when it comes to how handle actors are handled during sex scenes. Sorry. Like, I heard some like really bad stories about other TV shows like Game of Thrones about how Amelia Clark was like basically forced to sit out in the cold like naked, and nobody even like thought of like giving her a blanket so she could stay warm, and like about how they would keep going for hours with it and just keep going on and on and on and on, and like everybody was like watching it, like watching them like film it, like people who are like even like not involved in the scene were like watching it, being like watching it, and I was like, that's so like gross. Like, I feel bad for her. Like, at what level does that just become exploitation of your actresses? Like, I have no issue with nudity and sexual content in TV and movies. I'm just more concerned with how people are treated, like behind the scenes and off screen. And, like, you know, just actors deserve to be taken care of, you know? Like, I know there are a lot of actors who put themselves into really dangerous situations for their craft. Like Leonardo DiCaprio nearly died while filming The Revenant. But I feel like there is a point where it becomes just negligence on the studio's part. And there have been some really tragic accidents that have happened because of studio negligence. Like, what I can think of is, The Crow, when Brendan Lee was killed on set. It's because somebody forgot to check that prop. Yeah. Yeah. And like, and that thing that happened with Alec Baldwin too. Like, you don't need to suffer. A lot of it, actually, the thing with a lot of accidents is usually because people cutting corners and like violating laws. Like, especially in the newer films, a lot of it is just studios just trying to be cheap, and then tragedy happened because of it. Yeah, he did a really, really good job with that movie. I agree. And that Oscar was well deserved. But again, like I said, there doesn't need to be suffering for it, you know? You don't need to hurt yourself or make yourself ill. Oops. I do apologize for the random drop in frames. Um, I think that's a connection thing. Let me just see. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that was wild negligence. Like, and unfortunately, somebody lost their life because of it. It really should have. been like the really proper precautions should have been taken care of. And that, yeah. Again, like I said, it was because they were trying to cut corners. And honestly, yeah, I feel really, really bad for Alec Baldwin because I saw him in interviews like after it, and it's very obvious to me that he's still very traumatized by it. And like, I also feel bad for the family of the woman who lost her life. And like, I remember they were going, like, during the trial, they just decided to, you know, that he wasn't guilty of anything because it wasn't even his fault. Like, it was the studio's fault. It, yeah, and I was very sad and disturbing. But I do know that in older Hollywood films too, there's like some really disturbing things that happened. Like the treatment of animals in movies. Like I would say in movies older than like in the 80s. I don't know when that rule was like put in place where animals have to like can't be mistreated on set. Yeah. Oh yeah, in older films I like you even in some really really great films like the actresses like suffer like the Wizard of Oz, like the woman who played the Wicked Witch of the West, she suffered from severe burns. And the original actor of the Tin Man, he nearly died because of the paint, because it was like suffocating his skin. And in that snow scene, that's asbestos. Like, and just like the way Judy Garland was treated too, like they would give her like amphetamine so she could film on end for days, and then they would like give her like sleeping pills so she could rest, and she was like forced to like be on a really restricted diet because she was an adult woman, but they wanted her to still look young, so they like stunted her growth so she could still look like a kid. And like that treatment is why she died so early. But yeah, people, yeah. Or in Cannibal Holocaust, like the animal mutilation scenes, those are all real. And like there was one movie, I don't remember, where there was a scene of a dog like drowning and they actually drowned the animal to like make it look real. But I feel like nowadays there's just like no reason for that. Like they people don't need to like endanger themselves because there's a lot of things that can be added in post. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of, yep, they did. And they also I think they also mutilated a monkey and a turtle too. Yeah, they used to like a lot of the old Hollywood actresses, they were all like on drugs, and that's why they ended up in having such tragic circumstances. Yeah, and a lot of them did overdose. It's very sad. Oh yeah, they were wild. Like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like everything on that set was real. And apparently it was so hot that the actors were like losing their minds. Like the guy who played the hitchhiker, he was actually a Vietnam War veteran. And he said like that was worse than serving in Vietnam. And like in The Exorcist, like Linda Blair, the actress who played Reagan, she got seriously hurt while filming. I think she got a really bad back injury from being thrown from the bed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They definitely were on things. Yeah, that's why they all look that way. That's why they all have like in old Hollywood films, that's why they all have like the blown out pupils and all that. Yeah, there were no standards back then. They would film for very long hours and then they would take benzos to help them sleep and then they'd wake up and take amphetamines so they could stay up stay up for days on end and then they would a lot of them did it because they wanted to stay skinny too. Yeah. Uh-huh. I will say like old Hollywood, it's dark, very dark, but I mean, it did give us a lot of icons that have endured throughout the years. Like Marilyn Monroe, everybody will know who she is. She'll always be famous. And she was an actress who was both beautiful inside and out. Like everybody admires her for like sensuality and confidence and being blonde, being an icon, but she was like so much more than just her beauty. Hmm. She was very funny. Like she had great comedic timing. And she also had a very big heart too. Like she was somebody who was really pushing for like rights of adopted children, like children who were in the foster care system and who were being adopted. She like pushed for their welfare. Um, she also helped. Yeah, yeah. There is level of risk. She also helped a lot of like black actresses get roles too. Um, and she refused to perform in clubs that were still segregated. Yeah. She was very tragic. She had a lot of demons and people took advantage of her because she was kind. They took advantage of her heart. And like everybody says like, "Oh, look how romantic Joe DiMaggio was for visiting her." And I'm like, "No, he was actually like creepily obsessed with her." Like he was kind of stalking her. And like even after she died, he wouldn't leave her alone. And like Hugh Hefner was buried next to her, even though she hated him. And, when she married Arthur Miller, she was worried that she would only ever be known as Arthur Miller's wife. And I was like, no, I'm sure more people know who Marilyn Monroe is. over Arthur Miller, but she was definitely somebody who it was they were their loss was definitely felt. I just feel like it's always the best people in entertainment who pass away way too soon, you know? It's always the people who are admirable and who do things that are admirable. And it's really sad. Oh, they did. They did take advantage of her. She had been taken advantage of pretty much her whole life. Because, you know, she's a foster care kid too. And she had an abusive adoptive father. But I don't know, back then if you were too good for Hollywood, then unfortunately you would fall. Like Judy Garland was another case of that, where she died tragically young because she was taken advantage of, and you know, she is very kind soul too. Mm, yeah, I do think I don't think movies themselves should go away. I think film in itself is an incredible medium, but I think we should really platform smaller studios, like indie studios, because they are doing incredible things. And I think Hollywood as a culture is very horrible, but again, I don't think acting in itself is bad. I just think it's industry that's bad. It's industry. It's yeah, the industry needs to go away. And like the whole cutthroatness and like just how like competitive and how like exploitive it is. Like that needs to go away, but like movies as an art form in film, yeah, I think people are losing interest in the Hollywood glamour though, honestly. At least the people around me were kind of jaded by all that. We're not interested in in fame and celebrities. At least I'm not really. Like, I'm not interested in the personal lives. But all I can say is like it's very unfortunate when people get lost because of the industry, you know. Yeah, it definitely has. Mm, sorry, stretching. I don't know. I think they're talented movie creators around the world. There are definitely people who just do it because they genuinely love creating film. And I think it definitely comes through in their art when they do. Like you can tell if somebody had a positive experience making a movie and they're doing it just because they love it, not because it makes them money. Yeah, you especially with all these like canceled movies and TV shows, it definitely is just like to make cash. Like I think a lot of the canceled TV shows and movies were just tax write-offs because there's no way they would put all that money into filming and production and then to just cancel it and like just and then never release it. And I'm just like, okay, this is definitely like to do with taxes, you know? And I feel bad too. I feel, yeah, exactly. They don't want to invest in anything risky. Yeah. I do enjoy Korean films. Yes, I like them a lot. I need to watch more Spanish films though. I do enjoy Asian horror a lot. I think, yeah. Yeah. Or smaller studios to try new things. That's why I will always praise Jordan Peele for what he did for the horror genre. I think I really also liked Nope because that what he did was so risky, but he pulled it off so well. And like Kojima said, he did something in the movie that he had never seen in a done in a movie before. Like a live action at least. I'd seen it done in anime, but like he basically made a live action anime without it being a live action anime. And like even with horror games. So I don't know if y'all heard of Blumhouse. That's like they make a lot of like horror films. They're a subsidiary of Universal. But recently they opened up a video game division. And so their focus is publishing indie games. So they're working with indie dev studios. Yeah. I think what it should be is these studios should just be publishers of indies. Like they should just like be producing it, just being like, okay, we want to like finance your project. Here's money, go crazy. Yeah. I don't know about the FNAF movie. I don't know. It was all right, but I don't know. Oh, are you talking about the games? Yeah, yeah. The games have definitely made a ton of money. Not even in just like game sales, but with merchandise and like the spin-off materials. It's so incredible too how in this day and age how like games can get so popular. Yeah. I will say, yeah, they did do some incredible work. Like I thought the animatronics looked incredible. I really, yeah. I do like how they used the like actual animatronics rather than CGI for like Freddy and all that. I think they looked amazing. But it's just like so crazy how like big something can get in such a short amount of time nowadays. like that game Mouthwashing. Like the full game only came out like a month and a half ago, I think. Just about, but I'm seeing it everywhere. Well, I had known about like the demo from the beginning of the year because I saw the demo and I knew it was going to be something great just from the demo itself. Just because I could just like tell, you know, I have a good sense on just from looking at a demo if something is going to be very impactful, if something's going to move people. And mouthwashing, just like the impact it's made in the short amount of time it's been out, it's just incredible. Yeah. And the dev has only made one other game too. And the other game is cool. I believe it's Wrong Organ. That's the dev's name. But I don't know. It's just like you can look at something and and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be big. This is going to be big. Like people are going to latch on to this. Yeah. Like what's it called? One I see like everywhere. It's like a 3D animation one. It's like Big Digital Circus, I think that's called. Amazing Digital Circus. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it. I've seen it. Amazing Digital Circus. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. I haven't heard of Vanillaware. I don't know. Even on YouTube, there's so many like awesome creators who are just doing their own thing. And I think that's cool that pretty much anybody can put something out. Yeah, you did? That's cool. What was one that I don't know. I like Lacy Games. I think that's a good one. Ghost Tundra. I think what they're doing is really cool. But yeah, Ghost Tundra. You know how analog horror became popular and it's like stuff from like the 80s and 90s? Ghost Tundra uses like basically like nostalgia, like old internet nostalgia from like the 2000s to like put out their stuff, which I think is really cool. The main medium is they like replicate like old Flash games and like that style of it. Like those old like games that were pushed out to girls, like the dress up stuff and like makeover and like the stuff that's like quote unquote quote girls games. They like play into that. Yeah. Yeah, that's like what they're going for is like that one era where it's like cheaply made flash game. I'll have to look them up. Vanillaware. Yeah, I've heard of Pro Country. That one looks really cool. I'd like I've heard of that one. Yeah. Oh, what's another Another indie that I thought was really cool lately. I don't know. I like, I guess if I'm looking for nostalgia, it has to like really like the old, like the newer, like retroware games. But I just like it has to like feel still kind of brand new. It cannot feel like a retread of old stuff to me. Speaking of like old stuff, have I still need to like play the Silent Hill 2 game, like finish that. Like Silent Hill 2 remake, I still need to finish it. But I've been listening to the OST and it's incredible. Like I was actually like blown away by not only were a lot of the older tracks like on it, but they were like just like rebuilt and like updated for the modern era. And I think Yamaoka like nailed it. I mean, of course, he made the original like music for the original game, but like he said that he just basically redid all the tracks. And like I feel like because when they remade 2, they brought on Yamaoka and Ito to work on the game again. Like Yamaoka was like the director for the music and Ito was like the art director. And I feel like they actually had more creative freedom than people think. Yeah. Like I feel like because of the updated technology that they were able to do like more of their original vision for the first one, because the first one was still like a very like the original Silent Hill 2 was a very ambitious game for its time. Like even back then, like it really like pushed the limits of what the PS2 could do. And so I feel like now with the advances in technology, they're able to do more of what they originally intended the game to be. Yamaoka said he made like 9 hours worth of music for Silent Hill 2 remake. And like even within the game, I could tell like the enemies have like different variations, like depending on like where you are in the game. And there are even like some slight changes in the music and like the environment depending on how you play it, I've heard. Which is like from Shattered Memory, is like there's like changes in the environment and with the enemies depending on like what ending you're starting to go for. But but I didn't get much work done, but that's okay. I like chatting with y'all. But I don't know. But I feel like, it's good to be streaming again. It's good to be creating again. It's good to be here. And I'm glad that you all welcomed me back, because that was one thing I was nervous about, was returning and like people just like losing interest in my content because I've been gone for so long. But I don't know. I see a lot of the same people coming back, which makes me very happy. I think I'm gonna head out for now. Oh yeah, they did. They did. I think I'm gonna head out for now. because I have work to do. I gotta I gotta do some cleaning up too. But it was nice to check in. Jesus, sorry. City noises, you know how it can be. But hey, I'll see y'all for next time. And I'll come up with more fun ideas to stream. Okay? Bye bye.